With all the hype surrounding Rocket League recently, I decided to pick it up after a little bit of peer pressure. Normally when I see games that look at all gimmicky, I try to avoid them, and I thought that this was going to be the case with Rocket League. It was just a fun sounding idea that wouldn't have much depth, and it would be entertaining for an hour or two before I got bored. Rocket League, however, defied my expectations, and I want to tell you why I think this is such a great game. First and foremost is the ease of entry. All you need to know about the game is that it's race cars playing soccer. The controls take about 30 seconds to figure out without the tutorial, and the gameplay basics come even faster. If you even have a minimal understanding of soccer, you understand how to play Rocket League. When I first booted up the game, I skipped the training sessions and I jumped straight in and I was playing immediately. While the core gameplay is incredibly simple, I mean, you drive at a ball until it goes in the goal, there are other elements that spice things up while not taking away from that core concept of soccer. There are boosts all around the field you can collect and use in your rocket boosters to shoot down the field and do double jumps and flips and all this cool kind of stuff. The edges of the field are curved and you can drive on the walls as well as along the ceiling for a short amount of time before you fall off. Your car can drift and jump, and you can use your rockets to modify those actions depending on how much boost you have. And this enables you to make, really cool hairpin turns or diving saves, shooting across the field in the air. These elements add to the overall depth of the gameplay without detracting from the core concept. While pretty much everyone on the planet knows the basics of soccer, the extra things added in, like making the cars jump and speed boost, gives players just enough to explore and learn, and it gives traditional expectations of soccer some new life. Recently, developer Psyonix stated that Powerups will not be added to the game because it takes away from that core concept, and that makes sense. When you have something that is inherently fun, why would you want to pollute it with all these unneeded mechanics? Rocket League also has a happy marriage between structure and planning and surprise and chaos. Game plans can be made, you can try to make plays, you can give players zones to cover, you can have a goalie, a lurker, whatever you want. All of that goes out the window when the opponent does something unexpected. The ball takes a weird bounce, someone gets blown up. Did I mention you can blow other cars up? The chaos and planning never rule each other out. They complement each other. Sometimes your game plan works out, other times it hilariously ends in a spectacular breakdown, but while playing the game, you can find room for both to exist without conflict. Rocket League builds its competitiveness off that relationship between structured planning and uncontrollable chaos. I'm just as competitive as the next guy when I get into a game, and oftentimes I get frustrated when things don't go as I planned. This is usually because the other person does something that I don't necessarily agree with, like maybe in Counter-Strike they bought a gun that I wouldn't have bought, or in a MOBA they engaged when I thought it was a bad time. But because Rocket League has so much unpredictability built into it, I suddenly am not as mad when the ball takes a weird bounce out of a pileup because I expect that kind of stuff, and I understand that unexpectedness is just part of the game. The last thing I want to talk about is the pure joy this game brings when people start playing. Among all the different people I've played with, multiple have said, I feel like a kid at recess playing soccer. The scrums you get into this game where all the cars are bashing into one another, everyone just wanting to hit the ball regardless of where it goes, brings out memories of playing soccer at recess, and you and all the other kids surround the ball as you kick each other's shins to a scraped and bloody pulp. It brings a smile to your face to experience that feeling again, and I think that's important, especially for those of us who don't have the opportunity to go out and have some pure fun on a regular basis. The point I'm trying to make is that Rocket League is a fantastic example of a game that has totally achieved what it's going for. The game is easy to start playing, the core gameplay is solid, and the developers have said they have no intention of polluting the core concept. The game balances on the line between fun and competitive, planning and chaos, and gives us something joyful in the memories of playing like a child. This has been Ryan with Select Characters. Thanks for watching.